Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate and love you. I wanted to make a YouTube video today on the 5 things that I've learned in 2022 that have changed and transformed my thinking. Every year, I kind of like to look back a year in review, but this is gonna be the last month of the year, in a couple days. So I really wanted to take 5 important things that have changed my mindset and really have changed my life to apply to the next year, and I just appreciate the learning that I've gone through. We all go through transformations and learn things. It's good to just take note and really just reflect on the things that are important to you and that you've learned and you've changed and just become a better person. Today, let's talk about the 5 things that have completely transformed my mind. Number 1 is gonna be, you do not have to be masculine. And if you're a woman, it's the masculine energy in order to get what you want and be quote unquote independent or self-sufficient. Masculine and feminine energy is something that I've really been learning about this year, and it's something that I've tried to take notice within myself even. To be in your masculine energy, a lot of us are forced as women to be in our masculine energy because a lot of us are independent, we have to be self-sufficient, we work jobs, we pay rent, we pay our car notes, we pay our insurance all by ourselves, because if you're not married, then you're not splitting the bill with anyone. And if you're a woman who pays for all her stuff and doesn't have a sponsor, you know what I mean, then you are forced to be out in the world and really just provide for yourself. And I feel like that is a very manly trait, and it can bring out a lot of masculine energy in a lot of women. I think that growing up, me personally, I was always taught, get it yourself, go get it on your own. And I'm Nigerian, so being Nigerian, I'm already like a hyper, independent. I can come off abrasive, I can come off aggressive. That's just my personality. I've always been very outspoken. I know what I want and I'm gonna get what I want, and I always felt like I had to be equal to a man as far as energy wise. Like if a man barked, I feel like I had to bark. I had to go head to head with a man in order to prove I was worthy and prove that I'm capable and provide for myself. And that's not always the case. Men and women are built differently for a reason. You can be feminine, you can be well-spoken, you can push for what you want without having to be an aggressor, without having to yell, and these are obviously, I'm speaking theoretically, I'm not actually saying yelling and screaming, but I just have a tendency to come off very straightforward, very aggressive, and you don't have to do that to get what you want. That's one of the important things that I've learned this year, is that you can come off very composed, very well-spoken, and still ladylike and level and get the things that you want. I don't want me providing for myself to kick me into the masculine energy where I don't need a man. Because at the end of the day, I want love, I want to get married, I want to have a family, and me being in my masculine energy is pushing away a man with the provider mentality, which ultimately is what I want. And every woman wants something different. So if this is something that you don't want, then don't feel like you have to practice this. But I had to humble myself and look at myself from an outside perspective and say, what do I really want in life? And what I want in life, I have to make space for in my life. If I want a man who has a provider mentality to come in and want to provide and want to be my partner, then I have to make space for that in my life. And that means tapping into my feminine energy, thinking more of what are the traits that my mother had? Are there things that I can learn that would make me a really great partner? What things do I look for in a partner? How do I communicate? How do I come off? Am I aggressive, or can I say the same thing in a kinder tone and in a different way, in a different wording, and still have the same impact? What I've learned is that screaming and hollering doesn't always get you what you want. And once I learned that, and I learned that the way that you say things can be more powerful, the loudest in the room isn't always the most accurate. To me, I was like, I really need to tap into my feminine energy and understand how to say things, how to get people to take me serious and how I'm perceived, but in a feminine way, and still get what I want. And once I learned that, I feel like I'm already seeing change in my life. That is the first thing. You do not have to be in your masculine energy, and you do not have to bark to get what you want. The second most important thing that I learned this year is that the location that you are in does not matter if you have not found internal peace and happiness, okay? And what I mean by this is, to me, happiness was always a destination. When I get this, when I live here, when I have this, if I buy this, when I'm making this much. That was my idea of like, I will be happy when. That was the internal talk that I had with myself. Well, I'll be happy when I get this job, or I'll be happy when I find a person, or I'll be happy when I live in a different place. I'll be happy when I move out of my house. I'll be happy when I have my own apartment. What's crazy about this year is that everything that I believed that I wanted that would make me happy, I got, and I found I was exactly the same. I wasn't any happier than I was when I was living with my parents in Dallas. I wasn't any happier than, when I was driving a certain car. I wasn't any happier when I lived in a certain location. So once you realize, and I hate when people say it, they're like, oh, well, happiness is a mindset. It really is a mindset. And there's no amount of things and there's no amount of places that you can go that you can outrun your mindset. Your mind goes with you everywhere that you go. So if you have stuff that you need to work on mentally, you can't escape it by getting that apartment. You can't escape it by buying that car. You can't escape it by finding a partner. You can't escape it by getting your dream job. Because at the end of the day, your happiness is up to you no matter where you are. And once you learn that, you will bring happiness everywhere with you. And in matter of fact, you'll attract happiness. I have a best friend and she is just the happiest person, the kindest person, most loving person, no matter what she's gone through. That's just her mindset and she's always been that way. And I swear she has like what I would call like a lucky life. She's the luckiest girl in the room. Everything that she's ever wanted comes to her with ease. And it's because she is just grateful and happy no matter her destination. And I'm a true believer that once I switch my mindset to I am happiness no matter where I am, then the things around me fall into place. And no matter what I get and what step I'll take, I'll always bring happiness with me. And that's more important than thinking that happiness is that Chanel bag. There was a point in my life where I was like, if I really had this bag, it would just make me so happy. And then you get the bag and it sits on the shelf and all of a sudden it starts to look like the 6 other bags that you have. When I get this car, I'll be happy. You get the car and all of a sudden it starts, the next year it's the old version now. And then the year after that, it's this brand new car. It's only 2 years old, but now it's starting to look like every other car that you've ever had. And now you want the next best thing. You have to be happy with what you have because it's the human design to get something and then you become comfortable with it. That's just human nature. So you have to be comfortable and happy with what you have because the new thing is never gonna bring happiness to you. It's only ever gonna be temporary. It's like a blast of dopamine and that doesn't last. That was like the second most important thing that I learned this year. Thing number 3 that I learned in 2022, rejection is redirection. A word. And if you've heard that before and you're like, I didn't get the person that I thought I wanted to, or I didn't get the job that I thought I wanted to, and this sucks and this is awful, and everyone who's saying rejection is redirection is just, blowing smoke. They just want to make me feel comfortable. No, it's true. The way that the world works and the way that God works and the universe conspires for you is that you can never truly miss what is meant for you. You will literally never miss what is yours because what's yours is already yours. There should never be a point in your life where you're pushing for something so hard and you're feeling like the door is closed and you're just pushing. There's no reason that you need to believe that that's for you. If it's a career, and it's something that you really wanted to do, if you apply and you get rejected, reconfigure. Redirection doesn't mean you quit it entirely. It means that you think of a different way to approach it. If you're dealing with a man who is subpar, but you're just convinced that he is your soulmate, that is not your soulmate. That is not your man. Because any person that wants to be with you, and even if you're a man watching this and there's a woman that you just feel like you have to have and she's, giving you red flags and she's ignoring you, she's not responding to your texts, you're feeling like, you're with them and then you guys break up and then you get back together, that is not your person. There's a reason that it's not working out. You're being rejected for a reason so that you can reconfigure. Whether that's leaving that person alone for a while, or maybe it's just letting that person completely go. And I know that sometimes it hurts to let things that you want go, but you will look back in a year or two and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I thought that that was the end all be all. And I've done that so many times in my life where I thought that what I had was like the ultimate win. And when I lost it, I felt so sad. But then looking back and I'm telling you, I always review. I look back and I'm like, it's crazy because if I actually had that thing still, I would be so unhappy. Because everything that I've gotten after that has been 10 times better. I have missed out on job opportunities and been so depressed because I'm like, hey, why didn't I get this job? This job would have made me so happy. I would have made X amount of money. And then I had to pivot and do something else and it led me to something better. It taught me a skill I didn't think I needed to learn. Whenever you feel that something is not working, you can be sad, yes, but understand that whatever's waiting for you after that is so much better. You should never, and when it comes to people, you should never hold on to people. That is something that 2022 has really taught me, is that Never hold on to someone who makes it hard for you to hold on to them. Never hold on to someone who makes you feel like you are hard to love. Especially if you're a person who is kind and who works on themselves and takes feedback and is doing everything that they can to better themselves, and the person that you're with is making you feel like you're so hard to love or that your standards are too high. Your standards are never too high. Okay? You're dealing with someone that's below you. That's the problem. If you have very high standards when it comes to dating or when it comes to finding your person or even just people that you want to spend your time with, friendships and things like that, the higher your standard is, the less selection that you have. When you look on Instagram and you think, oh my gosh, everybody's in a relationship, or I feel like everyone's doing this and that's everybody else. That's the 99% of the world, but you're the 1%. If you're looking for that 1% of person who is in that standard of person that you want to be around or that you want to love or that you want to be with, then it's going to be 99% harder to find that person, and it's going to take you 99% longer to find that person. I think it's really funny, if you're a woman that's really worked on herself and you appear to be put together, and you're maybe 26, maybe older than 26, maybe in your 30s and you're still single, and people are constantly asking you, why are you single? There must be something wrong with you. Do not take offense to that. I literally posted a TikTok saying this exact thing. Not everybody can afford a Lamborghini. Not everyone is meant to drive a Bentley. You see 99% of people driving standard cars, but if you want that Bentley or you want that Lamborghini, it's gonna take you 99% longer to get it. There's a different way that you go about buying a Lamborghini than you do a Honda, or that you use a secondhand car. So if you want something and you understand that it's high value or it's above average, then you're gonna realize that it's gonna take you twice the amount, and it's gonna take you really self-evaluating to be able to grab that. And it's patience. Patience is key. Let me just tie that back to rejection is redirection. So don't look at a door not opening as a missed opportunity. Look at a door not opening because a window's cracked somewhere else, or that was never your door to begin with, okay? The fourth thing that I've learned this year is that discipline and habits are the only way to change your life. That is the literal only way to change your life, is to be disciplined and have habits. Becoming 1% better every day is not a joke. And when you hear these people on your favorite podcasts or your favorite YouTubers or the people that you look up to, the mentors that are saying like you get 1% better every day, they are not lying. When you try to build a city in a day, it's not gonna work. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's like a common term that people use, and it's because you lay a brick every single day. And it feels small, and it feels like it can sometimes be tedious. It's maybe waking up that 30 minutes earlier, or it's going to sleep that 30 minutes earlier, or it's changing a small habit that you have. Maybe you're not eating chips, you cut out chips, just something that makes you feel like you're working towards your goal. That is the only way to actually change your life. You can't sit here and believe that your life is going to change if you're not changing anything about your physical reality. I'm really into manifesting. I'm into you attract what you are and the mindset that you have. Mindset is everything. You can't manifest if you don't start to take physical action. Faith without work is dead. If you've ever heard that phrase, it basically means if you believe something and you're not willing to change one thing about yourself or do one thing, it's never gonna work. The only way to change your physical reality is by changing your physical reality. If you wanna lose weight, you have to change your diet. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to change your mindset. If you want a job, you have to start aligning yourself with things that job entails. You have to start applying to that job. You have to start making connections with people who are maybe in that industry. You have to start researching that industry. You can't just sit around and want something and not take physical action. If you want to actually make change, you have to get 1% better each day. In the gym, that could be you take 5 extra minutes in the Stairmaster. If you don't go to the gym at all, maybe it's just setting an alarm just to wake up. You don't even have to go to the gym that day. It's just to wake up earlier than you normally do, maybe at a time that you'd want to theoretically go to the gym. Just wake up and be productive. Just wake up and start your day. It's something so small. And the small things that you do is what creates the picture. Habits are the only way, because habits become your reality. If you're sleeping in all the time and you're not eating well and you're not taking care of yourself, or you're allowing toxic people in your life, or that ex-boyfriend that you had that loves you so much just keeps breaking up with you, and then you guys get back together, and you're never going to change. Your reality is never going to change. You're always going to be living in the same loop. And that's something that I had to learn myself this year, is that I can't be living in the same loop. I always wanted to move to California, but I didn't do anything to move to California. How was I supposed to be somewhere? I lived in Dallas. How was I supposed to be somewhere if I wasn't somewhere? If I didn't take a step to be somewhere? And now I'm in California, and it's because one day I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take my entire workstation for 1 month and I'm just gonna go to California. I literally work from home in Dallas, and I picked up my workstation and I put it in like a little, I did like a corporate lease. So it was like fully furnished for 1 month, and I just sat there and I was like, I'm just gonna work from here. Brought 1 suitcase with me, 2 suitcases with me. And then somehow it snowballed into me being here semi-permanently. I'm still here. I came here in March. So it just kind of goes to show you that you can't change your reality until you change your reality. Sounds really simple, but it makes a world of difference. Just one thing each day. You want to be a content creator? Get up, turn on your phone camera and record something that you're passionate about. It doesn't even have to be something crazy exciting. Maybe you feel like you don't have anything to offer. Offer your personality. Offer your favorite recipe. Offer, the thing that helps you go to sleep at night. Offer your favorite makeup item. Things that seem insignificant in our hearts are only insignificant in our hearts. No one else thinks it's insignificant. There's one person on this earth that thinks there's something about you that is interesting. So your limiting beliefs are your self-talk, and you have to just cut that out. One of the best pieces of advice that I ever got is that when you start to doubt yourself and you start to think, well, they might not like this, you need to ask yourself, who told you that? Who told you that? Your self-talk? No one actually told you that. No one told you your outfit was ugly. You just believe it's ugly. Get 1% better each day. Do something physically to change your reality each day. It doesn't have to be big, something small. The last thing number 5 that I learned this year is that in order to attract love, you have to be love. There's no amount of fighting for something. There's no amount of trying to force something. There is no amount of convincing anyone to be in your life that will make someone be in your life. And once you understand the concept that if you are love, that you will attract love, and whether that comes in the form of friendships, it's releasing control. I should really make tip number 5, release control. Because when you try to force something, as I said earlier, your plan's already written. Your destinations are already set in stone. You just have to tap into that. All the possibilities that you believe already exist. And now it's up to you to find a lane and stay on that lane. If you want to have love in your life, you have to be love first. You can't be hate and expect love. You can't be a mean girl and expect love. You can't criticize other people and expect love. You have to show love to receive love. Release control. Stop trying to force things that aren't meant to be. Stop trying to put yourself in rooms where you're not cared for. Stop trying to fit into this standard of people that you're not. Stop looking at Instagram for inspiration on how to be. Start looking within yourself for how to be. And if you want to be something, then you have to start internally. If you want happiness, you have to be happiness. You want love, you have to be love. If you want confidence, you have to start being confident. Confidence, love, that doesn't come from an external place. Of course, you have your family love, you have your friendship love, you have your romantic partner love, but it never works unless you are love. Your friends and family can't love someone who hates everybody. Your friends and family can't love someone who doesn't believe love exists. Imagine being a person that thinks that all men are horrible and wanting to find a partner. That's like a very contradictive mindset. To want something but not believe that the thing that you want exists. Thing number 5 that I learned is if you want love, you have to be love and release that control. I didn't want to make this video too long, but I essentially just wanted to go over the 5 things that I thought that were very important that I learned this year and wanted to share them with you guys. If you guys relate to any of these things, feel free to comment or message me on Instagram. But I appreciate you as always. I hope that you took something away from that, and I will see you guys on my next video. Mwah.